This is Build It Baby, the show for big ideas, brave pivots, and bold next chapters. So let's do it. Let's build it, baby. If you are a dreamer who does, then you are in the right place. Hey, Happy New Year. I'm Penelope Bent, and welcome to Season 3 of Build It Baby. Can you believe we're already here? 3 seasons in with listeners in 12 countries. How amazing is that? I just want to take a second and say thank you all for being part of our Build It Baby journey. I've absolutely loved reading your listener questions, so please keep them coming in. Because around here, we believe building bold and living bold is your choice. Let's build it, baby. So over the years, I've had so many people ask me if I have a process or a formula for building. And honestly, most of the time, I just figured it was who I was, this thing I like to do, this need I have to create. But since the launch of Build It Baby, I've realized I have always had a process because I always build exactly the same way. Which I know to many is totally crazy because I have no formal business plan, no investors, just an idea and a really, really deep desire or a feeling to create it. Maybe it's just a calling or a nudge from the universe. I don't know, but I never run my plan by anyone because most of the time I never wrote a plan. It's just a loose idea. I never ask myself if the original idea will fly because I know the universe will help me with the how. My job is to flesh out the idea and trust in this creative process. And so I wanted to share this kind of, why do I work with such an out-of-the-box style? And the reason I do is because I have learned again and again, creating is not solo work. I do not create alone, and neither do you. I really believe with all my heart that the universe is my creative partner. Now, I know to some people here, they hear that and think, oh, she's going woo, woo, woo on us. But I'm just sharing my experience and sharing how it works, what I've learned through the years. I've learned one thing. I don't believe manifestation. It's not magic. It's simply part of the creative process. So let's get real for a second. So how I think it works is, I think inspiration comes from somewhere. Ideas kind of drop in, when you're in the shower or a walk or you're washing your dishes. For me, it's a thing about folding laundry or when I'm cleaning the bathroom. Not when I'm sitting there trying to force an idea. It's just when I'm doing average things that somewhere a really great idea will just pop into my head and I'll think, oh, that's a good idea. And to me, that's evidence of kind of a universal collaboration that I've tapped into this energy that's in this great universe that we live in. And I believe creativity is a conversation I have with the universe through my thoughts. I show up with an intention, the idea. I act on it. It's kind of the cause. And then the universe shows up with the clarity, the effect, the thing. So the idea is in full view in my reality. And that to me is manifestation. So I think it, I don't worry about how it's going to be creative. I just start moving forward with that idea. And before I know it, there it is in my physical reality. I really think it's actually so simple. But here's how I think it begins. I think that there's a desire or a tug or an idea. And then I think that you kind of flush it out. You become more making more of a decision about it. You start to act. You have clarity about it. I think if it feels good, you know that you're in alignment. So you start to believe, I'm right where I should be. You start to trust in it. As you start taking these little action steps, the movement, the work, the tasks, those start opening up more. You start running into the right people, asking the right questions, or out of nowhere, you'll get the answer that you want when you're developing this idea. And then I think there's a receiving. I think you see the results, the I am, the we did it. And it is absolutely mind-boggling to believe that there is this connection, that there is a co-creator, that you're not just, creating your life by yourself, but you need to choose to want to create the life of your dreams. This is why I always say the universe responds to energy and motion. Ideas need action, whether it's research or maybe you want to open a retail store, and so you need to start driving around looking at locations, even if you don't think you can afford them. I cannot tell you how many times I've done that, and all of a sudden there'll be a for rent sign, and it's the perfect number, it's the perfect time, it's the perfect fit. You don't have to have it all figured out. You just have to be willing to take the next aligned step. Make a commitment. Okay, I'm going to do this. So I'm going to go out and start doing some research. I'm going to start looking for, the building, or I'm going to start looking for maybe an old friend that might be a perfect member of our team. Let me see what they're doing. See what they're up to. See if they want to kind of join in on the idea with me. Manifestation is just part of the creative cycle. You can't keep it from happening. There's no big bad wolf out there telling you, you can't have something you want. It's all really all up to you. The desire, the keeping focus, the not giving up. You're the one that determines about whether it really happens. No one's taking anything away from you. So I believe the fastest way to activate the creative process is to start. Simple. Start. Make a choice this year to begin to act on the idea that's been, rolling around in your brain. Record the first draft, write the first sentence, sketch the first idea, make the first call, send the first email. Every time I've launched something, whether it's my podcast, other businesses, programs, ideas, offers, I've noticed the same pattern. The moment I move, the universe moves too. Opportunities show up, people appear, ideas sharpen, doors open. Creativity loves momentum. The universe always rewards the bold. Trust and feeling it is the invisible ingredient. It's the secret sauce. It's that special something that really aids in the creative process. If you can feel it and trust the idea, that's your invisible ingredient. You don't need the entire blueprint. You need the willingness to see what happens next. And think about this for a minute. What a great adventure. I mean, it sure as hell is better than sitting on the couch, crying in this with the spilt milk or whatever that slogan is there. Complaining about, why things didn't work out for you. The universe is never going to hand you the whole picture, but it definitely hands you the next piece. But you have to be the one to take the first step. And if you wait until you have every step organized, you will wait forever. The creative process begins with the understanding that you live in a collaborative environment. You just need the willingness, the curiosity, the receptivity, the trust, the surrender, and the alignment. This is when the magic happens. You cannot hear ideas in a crowded mind. Your most brilliant ideas come when you're relaxed, you're quiet, you're not griping about something. You're just listening. You're curious. You're opening up to the next great adventure. My best ideas show up when I'm not trying, when I'm doing the most ordinary things. That's how I know it's not coming from me. It's coming through me. I know that I have a co-creator out there in the universe. So I know together we can create great things. We can manifest. It's a great ride. And there's nothing like the thrill of receiving. When the idea comes together, when you know it's helping others, and you're just like a kid jumping up and down, having your first, ice cream sundae, or you got your first balloon. It's exciting and it's definite. So here's the part where I tell you exactly what I know. These are my knowings, the things I no longer question, because they've shown themselves to me again and again. Not from a book, but from building, getting knocked down, getting back up, and doing this work in the real world. Okay, so here are my knowings. I know that the life I am living is one that I choose to build. I know that I am surrounded by amazing energy, and it is my choice to align with it and invite it to be my co-creator. And number 3, I know that my job is not to know the how. My job is only to see it, to feel it, and to trust it. So those are my knowings. Okay, it's time. It's time for our listener question. So here we go. This is from Danielle in Utah. Okay. Danielle writes, I am very excited about starting my own business. I am completely committed, and I went as far as to have my business cards made. I am embracing my business owner title. Good for you. And yet I feel very uncomfortable around some of my friends. Okay. It seems to make them feel bad. They are happy for me, but at the same time, my little success seems to make them feel bad about themselves, like they aren't doing anything. This is really hard. Do you have any suggestions? I agree. This is a tough one, and I have experienced that in my own lifetime as well. I think my suggestion for you is to understand that everyone has their own path. It is really, if your friends are feeling badly because you are having these, this bit of success that you are creating, that's really not on you. That's on them. If they choose to feel badly about themselves, again, that's not on you. That's on them. But I'll tell you something that I think is very important, and it was very hard for me to learn this. The hardest thing that you will do is not, sharing all your successes or having your friends see your successes. The real concern is for you to want to stay small, and I don't mean this in stature, but small in your creative process because you don't want to offend your friends. What you need to understand now, early on, is that if you want to build this brilliant business that you have created, this brilliant life, whatever it is you want to build, your dearest friends, the ones that have the same type of visions that you do of wonderful lives and being economically free and successful or comfortable, whatever their dreams are, they will move forward with you. Your friends that choose to sit on the couch and complain about other successes, those that perhaps have envy, which I've never quite understood, those folks, they will never move forward with you. And you have to be okay about that. You have to be okay and understand that it is not your job to stay small so that your friends can feel comfortable in their the lives that they've chosen. Your job is to rise to the occasion and to build as beautifully and as boldly and as successfully as you can, and to encourage them that they too can use a creative process. They just need to move out of their own way, and to understand that no one's going to make the first step for them. They're going to have to be the first ones to get off the couch. They're going to have to be the first ones to start trusting in themselves. You can't give someone else trust in themselves. You can only take away from what you're building. So my suggestion for you is to fly high, my friend. Be as great for yourself and your friends as you possibly can be. And I am sure that by watching you and seeing you fly, just maybe, they'll roll off the couch one day and pick up the pen and write or create or design the life that they also deserve. So that's my answer to that one. Thank you, Danielle, from Utah, for sending that in to us. Thank you so much. Well, it's that time. Thank you for joining me on today's episode of Build It, Baby. So I just want to leave you with the question: if the universe is your creative partner, what idea, desire, or nudge is waiting for you to say yes? Maybe, just maybe, the business or career or the life you've been wanting to build has been trying to get your attention all along. Let this be your time. Make 2026 your year. You build it, baby. Always Baz P. Build It, Baby is a Rainy Day Production House original, hosted by Penelope Bent and produced and edited by Morgan Clymer. Music by Yuri Shemshashen and Oleksiy Holobiev. If this episode spoke to you, please follow the show and leave a review. It helps more dreamers like you find us. And remember, you're not just building a bold business or a career, you're building a bold life.